What if I told you there is a stock right now that sits right in the middle of one of the biggest debates in the investing world? Some people believe it could be a life-changing opportunity, while others think it's one of the most misunderstood and risky plays out there. And the crazy part is, both sides have strong arguments. Today we are talking about NWBO. And before we go any further, let me be clear. This is not financial advice. This is just a breakdown of the story, the hype, the risk, and the reality behind it. So let's start from the beginning. NWBO is a biotech company. And if you are new to investing, biotech simply means companies that work on medicine, treatments, and healthcare innovation. Now NWBO is focused on something extremely serious. Cancer treatment, more specifically, brain cancer. And that already tells you one thing. This is not an ordinary industry. This is life and death level research. The company has been working on a treatment approach that is different from traditional methods like chemotherapy. Instead, they are focusing on something called immunotherapy. In simple words, the idea is to train the body's own immune system to recognize and fight cancer cells. Now just pause for a second and think about that. If a treatment like this actually works at scale, we are not talking about a small market opportunity. We are talking about potentially changing how cancer is treated globally. And that is exactly why this stock gets attention. But here is where the story becomes complicated. Because in investing, potential is one thing, but execution is everything. And NWBO's journey has not been smooth or fast. This is not a story of quick success. It has been a long, controversial, and highly debated path. Some investors say the company is taking its time because medical breakthroughs simply take years of research, testing, and approval. Others say the delays create uncertainty and frustration, especially for shareholders waiting for results. And this is where opinions start splitting. On one side, supporters believe NWBO is working on something revolutionary. They believe the market is not fully appreciating the potential yet. They talk about long-term value, breakthrough science, and future approval possibilities. On the other side, critics argue that the company has taken too long without delivering clear, final commercial success. They question whether expectations are realistic or just driven by hope. And here is something important to understand. Both sides are not necessarily wrong. They are just looking at different parts of the same story. Now, let's bring this back to the stock market reality. The stock market is not just about companies. It is also about psychology. And NWBO is a perfect example of that. Because when a stock becomes emotional, people stop thinking like analysts and start thinking like believers or skeptics. Investors who believe in the story tend to hold on strongly. They imagine a future where everything aligns perfectly. A successful treatment, regulatory approval, and massive market recognition. On the other hand, skeptical investors focus on risk. They look at timelines, delays, and uncertainty, and they ask a simple question. What if it never happens? Now here is the twist. Both groups are using logic, but their assumptions about the future are completely different. That is why NWBO is often described as a high-conviction, high-uncertainty stock. Now, let's talk about something very important. Can early investors actually get rich from NWBO? The honest answer is yes, it is possible, but only under specific conditions. If the company achieves major clinical or regulatory success, and if the market reacts positively, then early investors could see significant upside. But if expectations take longer, or results disappoint, then the stock may not perform the way optimistic investors hope. This is why biotech investing is often compared to a high-risk, high-reward game. Not stable, not predictable, not guaranteed. And that is exactly what makes NWBO one of the most debated stocks in biotech. Now, I want to hear from you. Is NWBO a hidden long-term opportunity or just a risky waiting game? Drop your thoughts in the comments.